Right, folks, welcome to The Zone. Today we're talking about the news that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been sacked. Yes, a little late, but I wanted to just give it some time, digest it, have a think, and also have a chat pre-game about the Villareal and some possible managers taking over. So, first of all, I think it's sad that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been sacked. That doesn't mean I think it was the wrong decision. I think it was the correct decision. You'll know on my channel that I have been vocal for the past, I'd say, 3 weeks. It's really come to a boiling point where I've been watching the football for 2+ years now, and it's really not going anywhere. And then that string of results with Liverpool, with Manchester City, with Watford, with, losing the semi-final to Chelsea, losing the semi-final to Leicester, losing the final to Villareal. You've got all these moments like losing to Leicester this year, losing to Aston Villa, who then sacked their manager. There's just been so many performances where, yes, I'm absolutely sure that if you kept Ole in a job, I'm sure eventually the results would turn around just because the squad is good enough. But it's not right to be going constantly up and down and constantly going through cycles. I remember that's something he kept saying was, well, we've been in a mess in the past and we always turn it round. But it's not really right for the Manchester United manager to be in such a mess so many times, really, when it comes to, a club like this that's meant to be winning things. Yes, I know we haven't won the Prem in forever, but we have won little things here and there along the way, and we should continue to do that. So I'm happy / sad that Ole has gone. Nobody wanted him to be sacked, right? In the sense of when he took the job, all we wanted was Ole to be brilliant, and he just wasn't. Unfortunately, he was that sadly failed Cardiff manager that just couldn't turn it around. So there are some things that frustrate me. Harry Maguire being captain, I just don't rate the player. I don't think he's awful. I don't think he's the worst player Manchester United have ever had. But I think he could be one of the worst signings that we've ever had because of what it meant. He was the most expensive defender. He was Ole's main man. He played every single match, and he was made captain. So look, if he'd have just come in and been an expensive flop, or just been a player that plays a little bit here and there, you'd be like, that's a disappointing signing. If he was awful, you could be like, oh my God, yeah, he's absolutely awful. But the culmination of the captaincy, the price, his playing style, he's like, yeah, he's just, like some players, when you look at them on the eye test, you're like, that is a footballer. Harry Maguire, he has his moments where he's really good at passing, but overall, yeah, just, is he that much of an upgrade on what we've had in the past? Not really. So, speaking about the manager being sacked, it's obviously disappointing, and we're now looking for a manager. Now, the club are a bit of a state, because frankly, we're having an interim manager in Carrick take over this game versus Villareal, to then maybe have an interim manager to then get a manager. Or maybe we're trying to push for Pochettino, Ten Hag, these names. Look, I'll be honest, I haven't sat down and watched tons of games of Ten Hag. I haven't sat and truly analysed Pochettino's games. I remember him at Spurs, and I remember there was a period where they were super high pressing. They were really difficult to play through, tons of energy, like one of the fittest teams in the league. And then it all went to pot. Now, did it go to pot because the players were old, they were tired, they weren't buying into a system? Was it Tottenham bottle DNA? Was it the fact that Pochettino just isn't a very good manager? He hasn't really won anything in his career. Yeah, he's won that kind of what they would call sort of the League Cup for PSG. And yes, he is top of the PSG sort of league right now, but I think most people are going to win the league with PSG, let's be honest. But on the flip side, he's not doing great at PSG. However, we've seen many, many managers at PSG not do well. It's in a way a little bit like Manchester United. It's not very well run by the things of it, like kind of as an outsider looking in. So I'll set my standout as a pre-game thing. I'm imagining Michael Carrick is going to play very similarly to Ole. You even heard in his presser that He said something like, well, we're very similar, that's why we get on so well, that's why we've worked so well together, and I want the boys to enjoy themselves. And I thought, okay, well, Michael Carrick's never going to be manager, hopefully. The only way Michael Carrick should end up manager is if he wins the Premier League. Let's be honest, that's the only way he should end up manager. So hopefully we can rule that out, but with this club, you never know. Brendan Rodgers, I'm going to be honest and fair, so you know where my quote agenda stands. If Brendan Rodgers is the Manchester United manager, I'm not going to not support him, but I will not give him any leeway. Does that make sense? Like an Ole had a lot of leeway. Mourinho had leeway because he was a proven winner in the past. Van Gaal got a bit of leeway because the results weren't coming, but you could see the coaching on the pitch. Like we dominated possession and we did win big games, like the Liverpool games, right? We were always winning top 4 battles with Van Gaal. However, with Brendan, I just can't get behind him. So if it goes wrong, bro, I'm not even going there. Now, I did say originally I'm not going to watch games under Brendan Rodgers. That was a reactionary take. Of course, I'm going to watch Manchester United. But if Brendan Rodgers takes over, I'm just like looking with... I'm keeping him at a distance, right? Now, Pochettino, I also don't particularly like because of that nature of two things, right? I have a Tottenham fan that I talk to a lot. He always says that he was slow in his substitutions and he was a very strange manager when it came to the in-game tactics. That worries me because I think we need in-game tactics a lot. And there's that moment in the Champions League final where Lucas Moura scores a hat-trick to get their club to their first ever Champions League final. Crazy events happen. And what he does is he benches Lucas Moura and he rushes back an injured Kane. Now, everyone makes mistakes in big games. Sir Alex Ferguson against Barcelona said that what he should have done is had a different team out from the get-go and he should have included Park in his squad and he should have told him to man mark and we would have probably won that match, he thinks. So managers in big finals can get it wrong, I understand. However, unlike Fergie, Pochettino hasn't won anything. So, you know, it's difficult to compare the two. So with Pochettino, I'm more excited than I am with Brendan Rodgers because, well, of the obvious non-Liverpool factor. I think he's probably more of an exciting person with like emotions and touchline antics. But I'm still cautious. However, I'll fully support Poch as always, and I'll hope he does his best if he arrives. Ten Hag is another name been bandied about. I understand that he plays very fast attacking fluid football and it's very passing heavy and it's that Ajax style. I think Van der Beek, Sancho could thrive in it and I think he could be a really, really good manager. The worry is, can a manager like that survive with Manchester United when we have such a poor setup? You know, we aren't Ajax, we don't have a good director of football, we have the Glazers and Woodward. Can someone very system-like survive at Man U? We've not really seen it. Van Gaal kind of had his system. He wasn't kind of truly supported and his system ultimately, he didn't quite get those final pieces to the puzzle. And I think when you have a manager like that, if you don't give them the final pieces to their puzzle, it can go very wrong. Remember how Guardiola took over Manchester United at the beginning and he was losing these games and he wasn't doing well in his first season at all and the keepers were always an issue. At Manchester United, he'd have been forced to stick with Joe Hart. Club legend, plays a lot of games, he's okay, he's won the Prem in the past, right? Whereas Man City recognised, listen, if we want this system to work, we're going to have to get him a ball-playing keeper. And I think they got him 2 or 3 different keepers and eventually he settled on the expensive but brilliant Ederson. So if Ten Hag comes in, he might need certain types of players to make his system work, and I'm not sure we'll give that the way the Manchester United is run. So, in a way, strangely, I think one of the best options has come round to Poch for me, or Zidane. But Zidane is way off the cards, and I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think his wife likes Manchester. I saw someone on Twitter tell him, just tell your wife to get a bigger coat. It's not that bad, which I thought was amusing. But I guess I'm okay with Poch. I've come round to the idea of Poch. He's a sensible choice, which I think in this moment we probably need. We need to get Champions League football. We need to steady again. It's always steadying the ship, isn't it? Yes, I'd obviously love Manchester United to have a brilliant manager and win the league, but we have to have some realism here. So in terms of the Villarreal game, we need a win. And I honestly think Villarreal are so well drilled that it's going to be difficult. Now, we could have a new manager bounce like we did when Jose left, but I don't think it's that bad under Ollie that the players are... It's not as toxic as it was. It's not as like heated, and the staff aren't all hating each other and not talking. So I don't think we're going to get a huge bounce. We might get a bit of a better performance, but I don't think Michael Carrick's going to pick any crazy, wildly different team or do some crazy tactics. I think it's just going to be more of the same. And understandably, if you think about it, like if you've just had your manager fired, you're in a must-win Champions League game. He's not going to come in and play some crazy system with some wild tactics, right? Because you can't coach that in that short space of time, even if he was capable of doing that. So I'm hoping that we just have a solid performance. A point and a win against Young Boys, I think, would take us through. I'm not too sure on the standings, but I just know a loss is pretty bad. I don't think it's technically that we're out, but we don't want to be losing this game, and that is big pressure for Michael Carrick in his very ever first managerial job. So, you know, that's the way Manchester United goes, doesn't it? Off you go into the deep end with no planning. So I'm obviously hoping tonight it's an early kickoff at 5 p.m. that we get the victory. I'm not expecting miracles or anything like that. I'd just like to see a little bit more oomph in the team. Like, it's been so flat. Whether we need a Van de Beek, whether we need a Cavani playing. I mean, I love Cavani, man. Cavani's probably my favourite player in this United team, and he's not getting enough minutes. So that's kind of my thinking going into this match. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Happy, sad about the Ole sacking? Understandable. Who do you want as manager? Is it an out there pick? Is it somebody from inside of the club? Is it a complete outsider? Let me know. Leave a comment, leave a like. Appreciate you tuning into The Zone as always. Have a good one. Hopefully we get the win.